Good morning and welcome to Caring for Me, Caring for You, a thought and a prayer for the week. This has been a very, very busy week for us here in New York at Greg Johnson Partnerships. On Friday, and I'm going to begin there, on Friday, I had the great privilege of releasing a paper that I had written for the International Federation on Aging. It is a brilliant organization that has a global conference every 2 years. 2 years ago in 2023, it was held in Bangkok, and I was very privileged to present a paper at that time when we had just begun the Sahaja Bali project. This year, the conference was in Cape Town. It was a 4-day conference, and on Friday, the paper that I wrote for it was released, and I am so thrilled by that. It's a paper that really, in many ways, is a love story, for it tells the story of the beginning and the growth of the Sahaja Bali model. Donnie and I were asked about nearly 3 years ago, how can we deal with the aging population in Indonesia? And Donnie is an Indonesian. I'm somebody who will be leaving on the 29th of this month for what will be my 168th visit to Indonesia. It's literally been my second home. And we began having conversations with the division of the government that does their future planning. Technology was not going to be the answer because Indonesia is a vast, varied, and marvelous archipelago. There are 17,000 plus islands, of which 6,000 are inhabited. But many of them are technologically isolated, either by lacking of electricity or the ability for everyone to pay for that electricity, and thus Wi-Fi and other items are lacking, as well as the instruments themselves. There are three major islands, and Bali, where I live and have lived for many years, is one of the islands, and that's where the pilot began. I was introduced to five of the most brilliant Balinese. I was privileged to meet with them. This goes back about 2.5 years ago. Who were they? They were five persons in various aspects of healthcare. One, the head gerontologist, literally, of Bali. The second, the president and CEO of the nursing school in Bali. A therapist, a psychologist, and a social worker. Each of these persons had not only their medical degree in their given field of expertise, but a PhD to go with it. And they were the most caring, loving, dynamic folks, each of whom had a personal story in family caregiving. And it was there that we began. I did 10 sessions from here in New York, but like 4 o'clock in the morning because we needed to get everybody organized. And one was in New Zealand working on her doctorate. So we would meet for a series of 10 meetings in which we really used the "You Are Not Alone" format. Yana, and I have just re-recorded it in spring when I was in Bali. So Yana 2025 has really become the root because it's the vehicle for us to talk about family caregiving and understanding the wording. You know, people often throw words around, but I mean one thing and you mean another. And we both think that the other one has our meaning. So it was extremely important to do the Yana series together. First one was simply "Welcome to the world of family caregiving." That's how we speak of it here in America. It's how they speak of it in Indonesia. But in much of the world, it is people who are family caregivers are referred to as carers. And as I always say wherever I speak, it will forever be family caregivers in New York City because it would be impossible for a New Yorker to get two R's in one word. That just won't happen. So family caregivers it is. And then the second session was we talked about family. families of origin and families of choice. We then went on to talk about the many faces of family caregiver giving. And then we spent 3 sessions talking about maintaining the physical, the emotional, and the spiritual. Then we talked about a topic that in Bali and in the Indonesian culture is something that is discussed constantly. The living between the planes, people have no problem with that conversation. But here in America, death, dying, and grief are topics that are very seldom really talked about. And so I always include that when I'm doing the Yana series. And then the 8th and final series or episode is the blessings and benefits of family caregiving. Now, that entire system is available to you. And I'm going to talk about how you can get a hold of these things for your use and for groups that you might be dealing with and with corporations that you might be dealing with. We're going to be presenting a new product for corporate caregivers when I return from Indonesia. I will be working with our technical staff there, and we are going to have a wonderfully exciting product for the corporate concierge caregiving that we launched literally at the Tannenbaum event in August. Many of you have seen that fireside chat that I did. There are lots of resources that I've been privileged to be doing, and I post them all, not from an ego point of view, I assure you, but having done them, having been blessed to have 30 years of experience and work at many, many levels, I want to put it out there for you so that you can listen to it, that you can agree, you can disagree, you can do whatever you want. But I am giving you my story, my experience, and the projects that I'm working on. And everything is constantly growth. I hope you are too. I hope until the day I die, I'm learning something new. I'm readdressing something that I may have thought one way, but now feel this is more important. That's a very important situation. So the Yana series was the first tool that we used in beginning to create the Saj model. And the second one was the very nature and fact of the persons to whom I was introduced for the pilot. It was a diverse cross-section, intersectionality of pieces of the healthcare system, and that was so important. And we began with each of them being doctor this and doctor that, and I being the Rev. And then as we got further along, we decided it was extremely important for us to, while respecting our titles and academic work, to put those aside. And I became Greg, and it was Putu and Suka and all of the other Dia, the wonderful people with whom we were working and are working. Because we, as we were going out now to talk to the farming communities, the fishermen, we didn't want anything to be a barrier. We were coming as caregivers. Yes, caregivers blessed with a lot of knowledge that will help others, but we didn't want them to be afraid of that. And so that played an important role in the success of the pilot. And it has continued to grow. I can't wait to get back to be with the entire team and with the various activities that are happening. So I wanted to share that with you. And I wanted you to know that a copy of the paper, now the paper was entitled From Silos to Synergy Through Caregiving. Once again, From Silos to Synergy Through Caregiving. And I would like to make a copy available to you, of course, free of charge. All you need to do is send me an email. And the email is very simple. It's all small case, Greg Johnson at gjp-international.com. And then I'll be happy to send you a copy of that. Now, I also want to remind you of the tools that are available for you. And that was why I wanted to use this broadcast for that opportunity. We have our YouTube channel and all of the major programs. Now, right now, we're doing two major programs a week. On Thursday, 10 o'clock in the morning, Hymns by Request, and it's done live on Facebook. And then this program, which is done on Sundays, Caring for Me, Caring for You, a thought and a prayer for the week. In addition, we do post other things that we're doing that I think might be of help to you. I promote lots of things that other people are doing, and I love to share that with you. The two programs that we do weekly are then sent to our staff in Jakarta, or in Bali, no, in Jakarta, the technical staff, and they are converted to be appropriate. I would not know how to do any of this. I'm fine on this side of the camera. Back there, I'm not. To our YouTube channel. And our YouTube channel is very simply Family Caregiving with the Rev, R-E-V. Family Caregiving with the Rev. And there are over 800 programs on there, things that I have been doing for many, many years. So I invite you to look at it. I invite you to listen. I invite you to share it. And if you have any questions, again, write to me at gregjohnson@gjp-international.com. Our website is very much like the address for the email. It is gjp-international.com. And that will get you to our website. And of course, but you know it because you're listening to me right now, the Facebook address is simply Gregory Johnson. So I urge you to take advantage of these things, share them, use them yourself, use them with others with whom you may be working, share them with your congregation, with your support group, with whatever way that you feel they could be helpful and useful, because that's why I've been doing them. I found them helpful to me, and I wanted to pass it on to you. Now, this morning, inasmuch as this has been the week in which we remembered 9/11, and last Sunday I spoke about it, and then on Thursday itself, we did Hymns by Request, a special program for 9/11. I want our prayer this morning to be the prayer of the man who was known as the first casualty of 9/11, Father Michael Judge. He was a very, very dear and precious friend to me, one of my first sponsors, and someone who guided my life. And I have missed him, and yet I hear his voice again and again and again, and particularly when I pray, and I pray it daily, this prayer as I waken. So join me. Dear God, take me where you want me to go. Help me to meet who you want me to meet. Help me to say what you want me to say. And, oh Lord, please keep me out of the way. Amen. Thank you for being with me this morning. Blessings to you in the coming week, and please take a look at each of the items that we've talked about. I look forward to sharing more with you. And as we always say, onward in love and caregiving. Namaste. God bless. And I will see you real soon.